So then I started, after my sleep issues got critical and they stayed that way, I started to wean off the last two sleep medications I was on. They had me on several sleep medications all the time. And so I started to wean off those last two medications and went into complete medical crisis, right? Weaning off the benzodiazepine and weaning off the Zopiclone. I went into absolute medical crisis. I'm stopping breathing. My words are slurred. I'm falling down. I'm having pseudobulbar affect. I'm struggling with my oxygen. I'm stopping breathing. I am stopping breathing nonstop at night, and I'm fighting to try to get into the hospital to get assessed for sleep apnea. They don't believe I have sleep apnea. I'm calling throughout the system. I'm getting nerve damage. I can't feel my hands and feet. I'm in absolute medical crisis, and I'm trying to reach out to the healthcare system for help, right? And I'm calling, looking for a brain association in the United States. And then I remember, oh yeah, I have Chiari malformation. I don't really know what that is. So I'm researching that. And I'm seeing if there's any brain association in Canada. Where I live, there's no brain association. There is Chiari Association in the United States, and different, different, what do you call it, nonprofits to help patients. And I'm calling everywhere, anywhere, and everywhere looking for help. I'm calling like literally every nonprofit organization, I'm calling everywhere to see who can help me fight for medical care, who can advocate for me, who can protect me trying to fight to get to be hospitalized because I'm stopping breathing, to be assessed for apnea. They didn't believe that I had sleep apnea. I'm calling everywhere, the college. I'm calling the healthcare system. I'm calling everywhere to get help. And I'm in acute benzodiazepine withdrawal, and I don't know what's going on. Like, I'm being brain and nervous system injured, right? And I'm in Chiari groups and different health groups online and brain groups. And what people are telling me is if you don't have a brain association there or a Chiari association to help, then reach out to the mental health care system. And I really don't want to do that because they've been a danger to me, right? They've repeatedly overdosed me, which I can prove what I'm telling you. And I can prove it to you with my pharmacy records, what I'm telling you. And everyone's urging me, reach out to, the mental health part of the healthcare. And the healthcare system is telling me that as well. Reach out to them because at least they will have hands-on resources, right? Like people who will actually potentially come to your home and help you try to get the care you need. Well, none of this was true. This was just a lie. This is true if you're having, mental health crisis, right? But everyone's telling me this. They'll help you get the health care that you need. And like, I don't think other patients thought that, call and they'll help you with a mental health crisis. I think the patients that were telling me that actually thought that they would help me get help with my health crisis, like to get into the hospital and get assessed for sleep apnea. And I think all those people genuinely thought that I could receive real advocacy through them. But I think on behalf of the healthcare system, I think there were people manipulating, thinking that I needed mental health crisis help. So everyone's urging me to do this, and I did this with great trepidation. And there were a few people that came to my home to assess the situation, right? And by now I've read tons. By now I've gotten educated, but I am in absolute medical crisis. I'm in fight or flight. I'm in, you know, I'm sleeping 1 or 2 hours a night. Often I was sleeping not at all. And I'm just, I'm sure I appeared off the wall. I'm sure I probably appeared like I was in a really serious mental health crisis, right? And so a couple of professionals came to my home to assess the situation. And I wanted someone to assess me, to watch me through the night, because I knew I was stopping breathing. I knew I needed help. I knew I didn't really know, or maybe this was before I actually knew this was sleep apnea. I don't know. I don't remember. But I knew someone needed to watch me sleep to see what was happening while I'm asleep, because I knew something was going wrong while I'm asleep. And plus, I know I'm stopping breathing and I'm terrified to go to bed because my throat's closing and I'm in actual medical crisis, right? So someone came up with the idea, well, maybe we can put you in a nursing home overnight and they can watch you there, or put you in a nursing home for a few days or whatever, and they can watch you there or whatever. So essentially, I had to sign up to be under the care of a psychiatrist to do this. And I have been harmed over and over again, literally physically harmed over and over again by psychiatry, right? And this is the last thing this is the last thing on earth that I want to do, is sign up with a psychiatrist, because once you are their patient, you're done for. They can. Okay, so this is just my opinion. I should have, in these 2 videos, this stuff is just my opinion. What my understanding is in Canada, if you're a patient, they can do what they think they need to do with you or for you. So they can lock you up, they can force drug you, they can force you out of your home, they can do whatever they want to do that they think is deemed fit for you and the crisis that you're in. So if they misjudge, if they have poor judgment, if they have no discernment, if they don't know what acute benzodiazepine withdrawal looks like, if they don't believe that you have Chiari and you've had a brain MRI, if they don't believe that you're having respiratory issues, they can force drug you and kill you. They can accidentally kill you by force drugging you with powerful respiratory depressants, an antipsychotic, or whatever. They can benzodiazepines, whatever, polydrug you. You're finished if they don't have discernment. And I'm just in a state of terror, and they're talking me into this, to sign up with a psychiatrist so they can help me get into a nursing home and they can watch me for a few days, or they can help me get into the hospital to get assessed or whatever, right? And so the medical professional was coming to my house for me to sign papers. And I said to her, get this, I said to her, which doctor's name is on this form? Guess who it was? The guy who tried to inject me with an antipsychotic for 3 months. This guy would have finished me off. This was years later. Years later. This guy's name, this guy appears back in the picture. And it's like, hell no. No way in hell. So I pulled the plug. Like, this guy easily could have killed me with medications. And so I'll give you an example of what I'll give you an example of how bad things are here right now with my breathing, with sleep, respiratory. So I'm so sleep deprived and desperate for sleep. And I haven't taken anything for 7 years ago. I started weaning off the last 2 sleep medications. So I got off the last sleep medication more than, well, it's probably 5.5 years now. So a couple days ago, so desperate for sleep. And all through this journey, doctors are offering sleeping pills all the time. I'm running out of air just talking. I'm respiratory, my respiratory is exhausted just doing these videos. I can't breathe. And it's from the brain, from my Chiari. So a few days ago, so desperate, and I'm always so desperate for sleep, I tried to take less than a half a milligram of lorazepam to calm my nervous system to sleep. My oxygen dropped. Oh, I forget. I just saw the thing today. I think my oxygen had dropped, 43 times or 28 times compared to just a couple times. So less than a half a lorazepam put me into crisis. If I can, I don't think YouTube will let me put it on the cover of this video. You have to have X amount of followers to be able to put whatever you want on the cover of your video now. So I don't think they'll let me do that. But I wish I could show you the screenshot of how many times my oxygen was dropping. It went from normalish to crisis level by taking less than half a lorazepam. So just imagine when they had me on 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 sleeping pills a night as prescribed. Just imagine what they were doing to my brain and my respiratory when they had me on all those drugs and I was fighting to survive and not sleeping. So all the medications were making the situation worse. The inability to breathe, respiratory issues. So I'm off all respiratory depressants. I'm off all medications. And I'm struggling to breathe. And it's from the Chiari malformation, from my brain condition. But what a thing, hey? That guy who would have killed me more than 10 years ago showed up in the picture when the crisis was happening and I'm trying to get into the hospital. That guy, I've told this story to a couple doctors and they know the gravity of this story. That guy would have killed me with medications. I think that's incredible. Like, that's an incredible testimony of how patients need access to protection and to advocacy.